What is Philly's biggest weakness on offense? Or do they have one?
The
Or do
running
they
game.
have one? Their running
Uh,
game.
uh, the
The
running
running
game.
game.
I would have to say it's their running game in terms of because look, Miles Sanders is great. He's a Pro Bowl caliber. Pro Bowl caliber would be strong. I mean, he had a Pro Bowl caliber season, and he might be dotting the line around that. And I know the running game is not just Miles Sanders. If it's just that, we've seen how it works without Jalen Hurts. He's pretty much just
Right.
an average guy. But with Jalen Hurts, yeah, it is explosive. I think it's in that sense of just the actual straight up handoff running game where it's please, for the love of God, do not keep crashing onto the running back. Just crash to Jalen Hurts because there were several times in that game in that first half that I saw from Niners Cowboys where either Nick Bosa or Samson Ebukam were trying to like get the major crack on the handoff, whether it was play action or an actual read option. And it's like, dude, I never understand why the edge is just crashing on the running backs. They're gonna get that 1 to 3 yard gain anyways. You crashing in is not gonna help. You crashing in and missing against the quarterback is gonna be more damning. It's really gonna sting and hurt you. So I think that's where it's gonna be like that's kind of like where their weakness is because I think the Niners aren't soft. You know, the Eagles don't play a power running game. We saw they did well against the Cowboys running game. I think they could. I think they could be had there. I mean, again, I'm not saying they're going to have massive success or anything. They're going to shut them down, but I think it's the one thing where I could see them being, if they're disciplined, which is always asking a lot because it never seems like they are against these types of offenses who use quarterbacks on multiple runs. Which Jalen Hurts runs at least like 7 to 9 times a game by design. I think that's something that they could do is if they could take away the Miles Sanders and really just try to crash on Jalen Hurts.
I don't think the Phillies' run game is a weakness at all. I mean, I think their run game is really good. They're fifth in the league in rushing yards. They're averaging 4.6 yards per carry. I mean, I hear what you're saying. If you take away Jalen Hurts, they're not that special, but Jalen Hurts is what makes that offense special. And
Yep.
I think why it's a tough matchup for the Niners is the Niners have a really good defense, a great defense against a run and pass. But it's like a fast flowing defense that wants to like see the ball, get the ball. And once you slow them down with the option and like assignment football, it takes them out of what they want to do. I mean, from the D line to the linebackers, they want to get upfield and chase the ball, and it's hard to do that against the Eagles because there's a lot of misdirection and option stuff. So and they commit to the run. I mean, they're a run first team, and they do play action stuff, RPO stuff off. It's really hard to get to Hurts because you're always on your heels. It's 2nd and 4. It's 2nd and 5. So I don't know. I don't think they have any weaknesses on offense, honestly. Their offensive line is great. Like I feel like Jason Kelsey, Landon Dickerson, Isaac Somalo, like Armstead, Kinlaw, Givens, you guys better be ready. This is the best interior offensive line you guys have faced, probably. So there's that. And then AJ Brown. I mean, he might be the best wide receiver they faced all year. Last time they faced AJ Brown, he destroyed them. He's bigger than Devontae Adams. He's just as fast as Devontae Adams. He's really, 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 really good. Really good. And they have other guys too.
I was about to say, don't disrespect Devontae Adams. How dare you? He was a first-team All-Pro. AJ, Apple.
I'm not disrespecting Adams. I'm just trying to say that Brown's on his level because I think he is.
I know apples and oranges. They're both pretty much All-Pro.
Both really good.
We're all 4 receivers this year. They're going to be Niners. Yeah, the Niners are going to lose that. They're going to lose that one, just like the loss against CD. Yeah, it's just that's. I know the running game. And it's not. I'm not really saying that's their weakness, but I think it's like something that the Niners could create as a weakness of their own. Because it's kind of hard for me to really like, unless you really fine-tooth comb it and really spend like the whole season looking at them, it's like really hard. Like, damn, where is their weakness? Because the only time where they really looked stale was when they didn't have Jalen Hurts, or I guess you could say the season finale. He comes back, he looks up, but then it's like I'll chalk that up to more rust, and they're getting back into it. Because before Jalen Hurts went out, it's like who's stopping this team? I don't see it. They play so composed. They can play fast. They can play slow. They can play control the clock. It's just tough to tell. But I think if the Niners really want to make it into a weakness, is just try to make sure that running game is limited as much as possible. Just make sure you actually don't make Miles Sanders a component of this game, which he doesn't need to be, so long as you do your job and don't try to get too don't get too thirsty for the running back. Keep your eye on Jalen Hurts. He's the one who hurts you more than Miles Sanders.
I mean, it just seems to me like there's a reason why the Eagles are basically almost undefeated with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Their defense has like one weakness, and their offense has none. And so they did lose one game. They lost to Washington. Mm-hmm. And what happened against Washington? They turned the ball over a lot of times.
Yep.
And I think it was 4 times, and I think 3 of them were fumbles. Someone can correct me on that. So the thing about Philly is they don't throw picks. Hurts has 6 picks this year. He's not gonna pull a Dak Prescott, but the Niners have to strip the ball. They got to find ways to force fumbles and force turnovers because if they do that, they win. Maybe they'll pick off Hurts twice, and maybe that's just who the Niners are right now. But they gotta find ways to strip the ball from him and the ball carriers because that's how Washington won. And if you don't do that and you don't win, if you don't win the freaking turnover battle against Philly, good luck. Good luck.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, I probably lean more that the Niners are gonna get confident up Brock Purdy than Jalen Hurts does.
Right. Again, that's why I feel like if they played this game 10 times in the same circumstances in Philly, you'd have to say Philly would win most of those games. But it's a 1-game playoff. The Niners can find a way to pull the upset. They absolutely can. They got the brain power. They got the talent. They got the quality control. We're trying to help. But we have to acknowledge that this is quite an undertaking. And if they win, it is a massive accomplishment. It's as big as any accomplishment in franchise history that's not a Super Bowl victory, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It would be one of the most impressive NFC Championship victories in franchise history.
Oh, yeah, that for sure will. Especially
this is huge.
You're going in there with the 7th. I mean, look, the fact that they went this far, it was already just a month ago where I wrote the article and I brought it up to here and saying like, hey, what's considered a successful season?
Making the NFC Championship game with Brock Purdy.
Exactly. Nothing shorter than an NFC Championship game. I personally said they have to go as far as the Super Bowl because given Brock Purdy's playing, but like you're in the moment now.
A rookie quarterback's never gone to the Super Bowl ever. So they've already exceeded expectations.
Like, all right, this is successful. When you lose some Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrows, no one's going to hold that against you.
Yeah. And frankly, now you got Brock Purdy on the road against a team with 70 sacks this season, not counting last week.